Oh boy, it's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. Brian here, wanting to just quickly say thanks for stopping by and liking the content. And if you want to share your stories with us, please do so in the comments below, as we might just read them out live for all of you to hear. Now, with that quick message out of the way, D&D players, what was the stupidest way your character has died? Part 2. One of my players tried to sleight of hand a potato. 4 natural ones later, he was lying on the ground foaming at the mouth and turning blue, having choked on said spud. Then the wild mage tried to shock him to defibrillate. Wild magic surge vaporized the body, the market stall, and the vendor. Upside, the party invented popcorn. Oh, hell yeah! I once played as a wild sorcerer. Every time I cast a spell, a random effect would happen. I got turned into a potted plant. The enemy used cure wounds on themselves to heal. I told the DM I will yell at the enemy, "They're gay for touching themselves," so they will suicide. The enemy rolled higher on their charisma saving throw and said, "No, you." I fell into an existential crisis and casted Inflict Wounds on myself. Oh, the irony. Edit. After resuming the campaign, it happened again. I now have "self-harm could expose my blood to higher beings" as a flaw. I was the rogue of the party scouting ahead when I came across a large safe. I'm greedy, so I figured I would just take everything inside and not tell the party about it. After successfully getting it open, I found it was empty, and a small group of cultists entered the room I was in and saw me. Knowing I had no chance of beating them, I jumped in the safe and locked it back. My party waited half an hour or so until decided they should go in and look for me. By the time they found me, I was beginning to suffocate. Our bard could pick locks, but rolled a 1 and broke his tools. They thought if they cast heat metal on the safe, it would become malleable enough to break open, but cooked me alive instead. I have 2 from the same campaign. Death number 1. Me, a dwarven cleric, tried to cross a rope bridge across a big chasm. Orcs swarmed the other side of the rope bridge and were throwing spears at me and trying to cut the bridge. Spears missed, but they cut one of the sides of the bridge off, leading to my character starting to fall. Failed 3 strength saving throws, something he's supposed to be good at, and fell to his death. The chasm is now named Adrig's Chasm, in honor of his foolhardy charge. Death number 2. Me, a dragonborn sorcerer, was fighting alongside the party against 2 orc warriors, an orc shaman, a dire wolf, and a regular wolf. I was heavily weakened and stayed back, slinging acid splash at everything. Then, the shaman runs over to a grate and opens it, releasing a couple of sturges into the room. I failed to kill the 2 that came for me by rolling 1 on damage, they only have 2 health, and both managed to do enough damage to my weakened character to down him. If you get downed with a sturge lashed onto you, it's an automatic death save fail. I had 2, thus I had 2 fails. I then flubbed my final death saving throw and died to what were effectively overgrown mosquitoes. This was my only and by default stupidest death. I was playing a changeling rogue assassin, and the campaign took place in a fantasy equivalent to the Roman Empire. We met with the Emperor and discovered he was a lich causing him to attack us. We were able to beat him, but we figured that if the Emperor didn't come back from his meeting with us, it would cause mass panic. So the solution? My changeling decided to become the Emperor, of course. Due to a series of bad rolls, NPCs consistently rolling stupidly high on insight checks, and me being an idiot, my changeling didn't even last a day before getting caught and tortured to death for information. In a 5e game I ran as a life cleric and was with a fighter watching the rear of the group in the hallway as the rest of the group went into a chamber to check for loot. There was a rug on the floor that our rogue avoided. As soon as they were done and leaving the room, we were spotted by an enemy patrol. We scattered to set up a semi-ambush as the patrol cast darkness and went to flank us down at the other end of the hall. I was the only one to go into the recently looted room and as such got attacked by the rug. I lasted about 4 turns before my character suffocated. "I don't believe it, I'm losing to a rug," said Colin Mockery. Kicked in the head by a fleeing deer. Rolled a crit. Did maximum damage possible. Fell off a very small cliff, maybe 15 feet high. Rolled for damage. Maximum damage rolled. Friends didn't see where I fell, so they left me, assuming I was chasing the deer. They never caught the deer, got lost, and never returned. Fuckers. I was a Toydarian merchant who joined the party in trying to negotiate a peace treaty with a newly discovered planet in an Edge of the Empire one-shot. It was an altered game set in the EU New Republic era using the EOTE rules. Things had gone really, really bad the whole session. We got started and immediately the senator from the Republic offended all the leaders of the planet. Then, one of our party members just decided, screw it. I'll kill the planet's king, out of nowhere. Meanwhile, our smuggler brothers were trying to sell a noble illegal drugs and, in the process, killed the king's bodyguard, who was a late-arrived player and was supposed to be convinced to join us. That guy had to make a new character and try to rejoin again, and that character was knocked unconscious and held prisoner. I was just trying to assist the party along the way, and somehow I was the one who got in trouble and was exiled? So now, we're leaving the planet, but we start taking blaster fire. The Royal Army has deduced the smugglers were a part of our team and are chasing us. My character started panicking, and because we were playing for about 10 or 12 hours and needed to end the session, I said I'd stick a grenade launcher in the fuel intake. Surprisingly, the DM allowed it, and I blew up the ship. A few of the team saw me do this and escaped, but half the team died. Everyone had a good laugh. I walked into a tavern and tripped and broke my neck. I made another character and walked in the tavern and tripped on my old character's body and broke my neck. I had to make another character who cautiously opened the door into the tavern, walking over the two corpses, and then tripped and broke my neck. I once DM'd a game where one of my players wanted a new character and needed their current one to die. After a while, I found a point in the story where this could go. In Dark Water Cave, where they would fight a blue dragon, and then a rebel force would come into the cave led by a wraith and try to kill them, but the character who wanted to die would sacrifice themselves while the rest made a getaway. Unfortunately, when the PCs found out about the Dark Water Cave, they misheard it as Duck Water Cave, and go in going quack quack. This wakes the blue dragon, who makes an attack on the sorcerer and misses, hitting the player who wanted to die, leaving them on low HP. They took down the dragon in a few turns, but then the rebel force and wraith turn up. The PCs do okay for a few rounds, until the sorcerer is possessed by the wraith. At this point, the suicidal PC is 1 HP, and the wraith-possessed sorcerer casts Vicious Mockery. The sorcerer turns to the other PC and simply says, "Your loincloth smells." And the PC's last words before going unconscious were, "It doesn't smell that bad." As it was a pretty tough encounter, no one could heal him, and he failed the death saving throws and died. Was the DM. Party was fighting a group of fishnet and a colossal shark that ate anyone who fell into the water or bumped the boat if it was getting attacked by it. They saw the paladin's lion steed, it was magically summoned via the spell, get chomped out of existence by the creature already. They had at least 2 rounds to get out of the water if they fell before possibly getting chomped. Party wizard falls in, decides to stay in the water and shoot spells since it was easier to hit the fishmen crawling on the side of the boat. He has the spell Misty Step and can easily get on the boat. Decides not to do that as I narrate every round how other sailors are making dashes to get back on the boat and even just hanging on the side to not get eaten. Stays in the water and is the only one next to the shark. Shark's turn, and it does what big sharks do, and chomps him. So much damage that he is instantly dead, no saves. He is mincemeat in its jaws. Loom of shock and confusion on his face as I tell him this. He had 4 rounds to at least get to the side of the boat and hang there. I was a rogue in an LA noir type fantasy setting. One of the NPCs thought I'd betrayed them when I was just trying to get inside the enemy's ranks. I kept trying to persuade him since I had high charisma. Failed 3 times. Tried hugging it out. My DM made me roll a bro roll. I failed. I woke up in the sewers, not dead, but chained up with all of my stuff taken. My DM felt like being nice, so he left me one of my daggers. When I tried taking it out, he had me roll acrobatics. I rolled a natural 1. Hurt myself with the knife he left me, and made me roll saving throws. I rolled another natural 1, and another fail. As I died, I saw what was engraved in my dagger. I died alone in the sewers by stabbing myself in the back with my own dagger with the word traitor engraved on it. My character didn't die by this, but I single-handedly killed 2 members in my party. I was playing Pathfinder's a Khatune Trap and an Oracle of Flames. As I was getting cornered, I threw a fireball at the floor. I barely lived, and the alcoholic monk burned to a crisp. All the enemies rolled good enough to dodge the fire. As the fight went on, our Blood Rager goes down. I come over to heal him. My curse activates and I kill him too. TLDR, a very innocent-looking foxboy cooks an alcoholic and a magic barbarian. I have one. So someone said they wanted to do something, but everyone, even the DM, said not to a bunch of times. Well, guess what? He does it anyway. So he spawns something, and well, the people who he was trying to hit did not take any damage. He did not either. But everyone on the team got down to 1 HP, including the character who was standing outside playing with a ball of yarn. And one of our teammates died. He wanted to make another character, but still. So everyone got mad at the one who almost killed us, and he cried. Yeah. I don't remember all the details, but I remember that I was a bronze draconian paladin that was sailing on a boat with the rest of the party. There was another boat that approached ours, and it lent itself into a ship battle. That is until one of the members thought it was a great idea to grab me and another member, me failing my strength check to not be grabbed, tied all 3 of us to a ballista bolt or something along those lines, and shot it at the other boat with all of us on the projectile. Let's just say I couldn't hold on and fell into the ocean and drowned. Had a whole arc in mind for the character too.